Hey everybody on YouTube, this is Kyle Snyder once again, aka Clipton, and I'm doing yet another top 10 list. And this time I'm doing one on top 10 robot heroes. You know, since this month is actually the 30th anniversary of Mega Man, so, you know, in honor of that, I thought I'd do this top 10 list. Oh, and by the way, before I begin this top 10 list, I just thought I'd let you all know that this top 10 list is brought to you by Omicron. Be sure to check it out on Amazon.com. You know, if you're into Mega Man and Mega Man X and pretty much everything in the Mega Man series, you know, check out Omicron. You will definitely like it. So anyway, here we go. Number 10, Robo from Chrono Trigger. You know, I figured that I had to include at least one robot from an RPG, and I figured why not include the robot from one of the greatest RPGs of all time, Chrono Trigger. I mean, Robo, he can do it all. He's an offensive machine, he's a healing machine. You know, he can pretty much be whatever you need him to be in battle. I mean, Robo's one of the most useful allies in all of Chrono Trigger. Number 9, R2-D2. R2-D2 I consider one of the most useful droids in all of Star Wars. You know, because he's always been there for Luke Skywalker ever since Episode 4. You know, and, you know, even in the beginning of Star Wars, R2's always been there. He's always been useful and has been saving lives. I mean, what would Star Wars be without R2-D2? It's like, I can't really imagine what it would be like without him. Anyways, number 8, TARS from Interstellar. And yes, I know it's very unusual for me to put TARS amongst the top 10 greatest robotic heroes of all time, but think about it. I mean, he helped out Cooper and Brand and, you know, all the other astronauts searching for a new home in a galaxy. And, you know, if it weren't for TARS, they wouldn't have been able to get the Endurance stabilized when it was spinning out of control. I mean, it was him who helped Cooper get the Endurance, you know, pretty much prevent it from burning up in the atmosphere of man's planet that he was exploring. So yeah, just thought I'd have to put TARS in there just for that. Anyways, number 7, Baymax from Big Hero 6. Pretty much, Big Hero 6 would not be Big Hero 6 without Baymax. You know, he's funny, he's helpful. He makes a better doctor than a lot of people would these days. You know, if we all had our own personal Baymaxes, there'd be no need for healthcare. There'd be no need for all this BS that's going on with our healthcare system. I mean, and pretty much he'd know how to help us all. But sadly, we do not have Baymax yet. I have a feeling that there is someone who's actually working on developing a Baymax robot to introduce into the healthcare system for each and every one of us, and I have a feeling that, you know, it's gonna revolutionize how healthcare is done once it's mass produced. Anyways, going on. Number 6, Robocop. Half man, half machine. You know, figured I'd have to put him in here because, you know, Robocop's one of the greatest. Yeah, Robocop was one of the best cop movies of all time. You know, a lot of people have been. I know a lot of people have been given a remake a bad name, but you know what? I've seen the remake. I've seen the original on TV, and you know what? To be honest, I mean, they all had both versions, you know, they were all good for their times. I mean, the original's still good, the remake is good as well. You know, but I figured I had to put Robocop in here because, I mean, he's a hero, he's a robot. Well, technically half man, half machine, but you know what? He's robot enough to make the list. Anyways, number 5, Data from Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's no surprise that I am a fan of Star Trek, and I just had to put Data on this list. I mean, his reaction time to helm controls is second to none. He's always striving to perfect himself, even though he is an android. He always seeks to be more human-like, to help his crew members. He pretty much knows how to... Yeah, and when he's in control of the Enterprise, he knows exactly what to do, what orders to give at what times. And, his orders may seem questionable, but he knows exactly what he's doing. Anyways, number 4, Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots. And amongst a lot of robotic heroes, I mean, he is, without a doubt, the living embodiment of all that is good, all that is just. I mean, he's always striving to do the right thing, when it comes to the Transformers and the human race, he always puts the human race above that of the Transformers, because, he wants to be seen to everyone as a true leader. He wants to be seen to everyone as a hero of heroes. He's always willing to go the extra mile to reinforce all the standards of justice that we have, all the standards of everything that is good and pure. Anyways, number 3, Mega Man. And, I had to put Mega Man on this list because, this is the 30th anniversary of Mega Man coming to be. And, Mega Man, I've always been a fan of him. And, what's not to like about Mega Man? He can absorb other robots' powers. He can shoot various attacks from his Mega Buster. He has a lot of allies. Rush, Beat, and all them. So yeah, I had to put Mega Man on this list just for that. And I know you're thinking, well, how can Mega Man be number 3 on this list? Who are number 2 and number 1? Well, number 2 would be X from Mega Man X. I figure that X is an uber version of Mega Man. He can pretty much do anything that Mega Man can, and then some. He's gone up against a lot of villains that Mega Man couldn't even go up against. Sigma, there's no way Mega Man, the original Mega Man, could go up against Sigma, but X could. He did so on numerous occasions. And if X is number 2, then who's number 1? Well, number 1 would have to be Zero from the Mega Man X series. Zero, he's a lot cooler than Mega Man. When you're a lot cooler than the main character of a franchise, you've done it all. Zero, yeah, he sacrificed himself a couple of times for X, so that X could complete the mission as to taking out Sigma, but, Zero keeps coming back for more, and, I like his personality, I like his fighting style, and, I like his overall character, and pretty much if it weren't for Zero, then I wouldn't have the inspiration for Omicron, and... that's why Zero makes number 1 on my top 10 list. So thank you very much for watching this list. I hope you like it, and stay tuned for more top 10 lists.